This is episode 267 of How About That Cigar, recorded live at the Corona Cigar Studio. On this episode, we talk to Anto Mahroukian about JM Tobacco and much more. Please take a minute to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Now on with the show.
Corona Cigar Company is your one-stop shop for all your cigar needs. Whether that's a brand new humidor, a box of those new cigars you've been waiting for, a top-of-the-line cutter or lighter, a place to enjoy the finest cigars and spirits with friends, or the only cigars grown right here in the Sunshine State, we've got you covered. Come visit one of our retail locations for the ultimate cigar experience. Visit us online at coronacigar.com.
How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corona Cigar Studios for episode 267 of How About That Cigar Live. We are so grateful for you guys being with us on episode 267. Grateful. Are we doing echoes?
Yeah, we're doing echoes today.
It is Echo Night here on How About That Cigar Live. Excuse me. Thanks so much to you guys for watching us on all your favorite streaming platforms. First of all, we are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram. And we are live on
Rumble!
Thank you guys so much for being with us. And of course, if you're listening after the fact on the audio podcast, thanks again, guys, for listening to How About That Cigar when you drive down the road, when you work out, whatever it is you do when you listen to your favorite audio podcast. Thanks for making us a part of it. And if you would please click on all of the big, beautiful buttons, the like button, the subscribe button, the follow button. If it's a button related to How About That Cigar, just click on it. Because unless it's the button that says unsubscribe, don't click on that button, but click on all the other buttons. Join us in the comments tonight. As always, let us know what you're smoking. Let us know what you're drinking. And if you have questions for our great special guest coming on in a few minutes, add those into the comments as well. So
let's talk about how good my beard's coming in first before we talk about
depressing sports.
My Yankees losing to them damn Dodgers.
Yeah.
But I only get to grow my beard once a year when I take my long vacation. I really like it. I need to retire, I think.
You only got a few more years before you retire.
2.5 long years.
2.5 long years. Long, excruciating years.
Excruciating.
But
maybe I'll hit the lottery. But I guess you got to play the lottery to win it. I guess that's how they say it.
You do have to. Yeah, I play the lottery like on average less than once a year.
Like when it gets to $1 billion.
It's like every 2 or 3 years when it gets to some ridiculous like it's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Like because it's. But I mean, we talk about sports a little bit usually during this point. I really don't want. It was so depressing. I mean. Your Yankees lost the World Series.
Your Packers lost.
My Packers. I knew the Packers were going to lose to the Lions. But the Lions are so good this year. But I didn't realize that they were just,
they got kind of their asses whooped.
The stupid penalties and just really piss poor gameplay, stupid penalties, Jordan Love throwing interceptions again. And I got to say that, okay, I just had a brain fart. I got to say that, and then my brain just went, whoop, you're done.
You don't want to talk about the Packers anymore.
Yeah, I didn't want to. Well, okay, so the Packers should have, Jordan Love is not himself. You can tell. He only sat out those 2 games. And then he came back, and he was just okay, and then he got hurt. He hurt his groin again last week. Mm-hmm. So then he had ankle injury and groin injury that he's trying to fight his way through. I think they should let him sit longer and heal all the way up because it just seems like mentally he's not in it.
Do you know something? This gives your boy more fuel for our conversation in a couple of weeks.
Well, I don't think.
I think it does.
Maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
And the Vikings won. Even though that first half they looked like total poop.
Neither team. The Colts didn't look good either.
Well, the Colts are terrible. So
Colts are terrible. The Vikings should have beaten them by like.
They got my grandfather out there playing for the quarterback.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Flacco. Yeah, old man Flacco.
He looks so old out there.
Yeah. The Minnesota Wild are killing it right now. I mean, And the great thing is about it, they're, as well as they're playing, they're also playing with like what's the word, resiliency. Like a few games in the last 2 weeks, they've been behind and they've come back to win. So, you know, they if they're behind, they don't just lay down and die. They keep fighting. And I'm impressed with them. But again, like every year, they got to stay healthy. They got to keep the chemistry going on the ice, and then they'll have a chance.
Yeah.
But it all depends on that, staying healthy, just like any other sports team, really. All right, let's.
I got a kink in my neck.
You got a kink in your neck? Oh man. Do you want me to massage? No, never mind.
Let's do our spirit of mystery.
All right, let's jump into this week's Spirit of Mystery, brought to us by Postania Cigars. Do you find yourself unsatisfied with the top 10 list from How About That Cigar? Are you wondering how cigars from Postania didn't make the HBTC list but found their way onto other lists? Well, fortunately, you can be reminded every single week with this Postania Cigars advertisement. Postania Cigars, the #1 unranked cigar in the industry. All right, so this week's Spirit of Mystery is another donation
by
a loyal
Michael
viewer.
Landon Phillips.
Yeah, and Michael, thank you very much for this pour. It is very dark, nice color to it in the glass. Has a fantastic aroma. And you know, obviously you know what this is.
Yes, I do.
It's a bourbon. It's a bourbon.
Take a swig.
Great aroma. I love it.
So nice when it touches the lips.
When it first hits your lips, it's so good. Oh, that's nice. There's something. Okay. There's something
familiar about it.
I don't know, familiar maybe, but something familiar about one of the
notes
that's in there. I'm going to keep it to myself for now, but stay tuned during the show, and I'll keep drinking it throughout the show as always, and we will reveal the Spirit of Mystery later in the show.
And let us know what you're smoking and drinking tonight. And
most definitely.
How about we get our guest on?
Absolutely. It is definitely time to get our special guest on the show. And as always, How About That Cigar Live's special guests are brought to us by our friends at Drew Estate. And Drew Estate announced a new member of the Deadwood line of cigars, the Girl with No Name Lonsdale. This new cigar features a wrapper leaf from Mexico in a slim and elegant 7x44 Lonsdale format that promises a slow burn and nuanced smoking experience. The Deadwood Girl with No Name Lonsdale cigar is presented in 20-count boxes, has an MSRP of $11 per cigar, and is shipping now to Drew Estate retail partners. For more information, please visit drewestate.com.
You know that the name, that sounds like a Saturday night when I was drinking. The Girl with No Name. I woke up with a girl with no name. She was laying here. I don't know what happened. Oh, fuck.
Those are memories that you don't want to go back to, though, right?
I gotta undig them.
Yeah. No, leave those buried behind the big tree leave those buried back there.
Oh.
We don't want to bring those back up again.
He looks like he's ready to leave. We might want to get him in before he leaves.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please put your hands together and welcome to episode 267 of How About That Cigar Live from JM Tobacco. Anto Mahroukian, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on.
So wonderful to have you on, my friends, and grateful as always, especially anytime we get to have somebody on the show for the first time, to get people's stories, to find out about what makes people love premium cigars so much, learn about brands, learn about the way people like to do business. So, man, grateful to have you on, and just can't wait to dive in.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So let's start out with a simple question. Who are you? Tell us about your company. Tell us, first of all, tell us about the first time you had a premium cigar.
For sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Anto Mahroukian. I'm with JM Tobacco, president of JM Tobacco. My father started the company in 1996. My first cigar was in 1994. It was a sample from Dominican Republic, which later became our Española 1996, which I think we're all here smoking today.
Sure.
and that was our Connecticut blend, which is part of our core line now.
My arms are so short. Use another camera.
Oh yeah, let me get the big go big screen on that.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice,
Oof,
nice.
They're like a pterodactyl here. I mean, T-Rex. Okay.
Yeah, so my first cigar was a sample that I received in. So we started late 1994 with the concept. 1995, we received our samples, and 17, 18 years old at the time, have no idea what I'm doing. I invited my buddy over. I said, "Hey, let's go take a walk and have a cigar." My mom wasn't really happy about me smoking at the time, so I said, let's just get out and smoke a cigar on a walk. And I'll tell you, man, it was a great experience. We smoked that thing all the way down to the nub. We were burning our fingers. It was creamy, it was smooth, full of smoke. Growing up, we'd kind of like ditch school and smoke like clove cigarette or stuff like that, and BDs and stuff. And this was just on another level. Something so complex, beautiful, yet smooth and creamy. I was hooked. That was it.
Nice. Before we go any further, I would love my partner in crime here to light up a cigar. Maybe.
I want to have a cigar too.
Yeah, let's do it.
let him light it up, and then we're going to tell the audience about a little something you got planned for us.
That's right. All right, I'm going to fire up my cigar right now on the Cigar. I got to do the thing. I got to fire up my cigar on the Cigar Toast Cam. Cigar is the leading cigar accessory brand with innovative butane lighters, precision cigar cutting instruments, travel cases, and humidors. Each product is designed and manufactured with the utmost precision and attention to detail. The result is a range of products that exude quality and refinement, reflecting the brand's dedication to excellence. For more information, please visit Cigar.com.
So, my good friend, what are you smoking tonight?
I am smoking. Let me get that off of there and get this back on here. I am smoking the Espanola Year of the Dragon. Very excited to try this one for the first time ever. And speaking of Year of the Dragon, I think our viewers are going to have some interest in this next announcement, and I'm going to let Anto
please
give the news to
tell
everybody.
The players what you have for them tonight.
Yeah, we're excited to give away a box of our Year of the Dragons, limited edition Year of the Dragons here on the show. It's a box of 24 Toro cigars, 6x52. And a little bit about the blend. It's an Ecuadorian Corojo wrapper with a San Andreas Maduro binder and Dominican fillers. Limited to only 500 boxes this year, and we're almost sold out.
Fantastic. And I'm going to pop up a big, beautiful picture for our viewers. Anto, thank you so much for throwing a little love to our viewers. And so I'm going to give the details right now on how this is going to work.
We're going to give the details.
What's that?
We're going to give the details.
You're going
to say it, but I'm going to echo you.
Oh, are you going to echo everything?
In my mind.
All right. So
I'm a little goofy tonight.
Because, if people aren't able to watch live, if they're working tonight or if they're busy, I still want, our loyal HBTC people to have a chance to win as well. So if you are watching live right now, I want you to put in the comments, and this doesn't matter if you're watching from Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. It does Instagram. Instagram doesn't do comments. So if you want to win this box and you're watching on Instagram, come over to Facebook, YouTube, or Rumble. And in the comments, I want you to put #Dragon. That's it. So I'm going to put it in the comments now so you guys can see it. And you'll be able to see this on all the platforms. Put in #Dragon. So those who are watching live, and I'm going to repeat this a few times throughout the live broadcast, those who are watching live are going to get additional entries for putting #Dragon in the comments. And then I'm also going to post it on the website tomorrow. I'll leave it up for a few days. So some of our loyal viewers who, like I said, they're working tonight or, whatever it may be, they still have a chance to win as well. And I'm going to give them a chance to enter. But those of you watching live, you get the bonus entries. I'm going to give you 5 extra bonus entries for putting #dragon in the comments, and 1 #dragon per person, please, because we want to give everybody a fun, equal chance to win this fantastic prize. And yeah, more. And I'll, like I said, I'll post it on the website tomorrow and give some other folks a chance to win as well, just in case they couldn't be with us tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, Anto, brother, and really appreciate that. And
my pleasure.
So the Chinese Zodiac, big. I mean, it's big all over the world, and there's a lot of us, because we're so into cigars, we assume that, it's just cigars, that there's, because there are a lot of brands that do year of the ... whatever it may be. But I've seen wines, I've seen whiskeys, I've seen beers, I've seen tons of other product categories that follow the sort of Chinese Zodiac.
Yeah, but this is the most with the dragon, I think.
There were a lot with dragons, but I know it wasn't necessarily something that you guys always did. And what sort of motivated you to sort of use that philosophy behind the branding of a cigar?
Oh yeah. So we have never done a limited edition release, let alone a Zodiac Chinese calendar release. This was something that we've been working on for a while. This is a blend that our master blender Papo had been putting together, and it just felt natural with the Year of the Dragon, with the dragon, the fire, the smoke, to come up with a limited edition release. The reasoning behind this is that I wanted to put out a product that I was proud of and had interest in my family smoking. My brother-in-law smokes cigars, usually smokes Cuban cigars, Nicaraguan cigars, something that had a bit of a punch to it. And I think this kind of did that. So I wanted to kind of put something out that he'd be proud of. My father-in-law also smokes a lot of cigars. So something that I wanted the family to kind of come together around and enjoy our cigars. The Española Connecticut is a smooth cigar. The Española Maduro is also a smooth cigar, full of flavor, but it didn't have the spice, the peppery, the kick that the Year of the Dragon had. So it was a way for us to kind of put the blend out in the market and see how it was received. And, we never really wanted to do a limited edition release, just because, once you get used to a cigar, you hate for it to go away. You hate for it to not be able to find it in a humidor, at a tobacconist. So what we did with this is just, we kind of tested the waters and said, hey, let's put out 500 boxes, 12,000 cigars, and see how it does. And I mean, it's rated really well. 2 publications, Cigars and Spirits and the Enthusiast magazine, both gave it a 93 rating. So we're absolutely thrilled about that. And because of the success that it has had, we are bringing it to the core line of Españolas and adding it to our 2025 brands of Española. So we'll have 3 now, which is the Connecticut, Maduro, and now we'll have the Corojo.
Are you going to keep it the Year of the Dragon, or are you going to rename it?
No, it'll be Española Corojo.
Okay.
Yeah, the Year of the Dragon is the Year of the Dragon. It's gone, but we are going to keep the blend. We're so happy with the blend that we're going to keep it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, and you guys were talking before we went live, and I want you to kind of take us with our viewers now down the road you went before we went live.
Yeah, he was talking about how my Yankees got their asses.
Well, yeah.
He's a Dodger fan. Thanks for ripping the Band-Aid off.
It was actually a different conversation. You seem triggered, Raul. I mean, you seem. I know you don't. I know you don't drink anymore. I mean, I would offer you some of this, but I know you don't drink anymore. Can I kind of want to give you a hug, but I'm not gonna.
It's been a tough week.
But yeah, I was talking more about the fact that JM is Anto's dad. That's John. Yes. That's John Mahroukian, and the the origins of that. So take us down that road.
So tell us about your dad and his company before you guys started the tobacco company, and how he felt it related. The 2 businesses related. And tell us about that.
Yeah, the 2 businesses are absolutely related. in the fact that they're both produced in Dominican Republic. My father in the mid 90s had a jewelry factory in Dominican Republic, manufacturing rope chain jewelry. And as you guys know, rope chain jewelry was hot in the 90s. We had clients like Mr. T, NWA, and just being in LA and close to the scene, they were my father's clients. So rope chain really was big at the time. So he had that factory in early 90s, 91, 92, 93, all the way up to the mid 90s. And then when cigars got hot, we transitioned into cigars. And how that came about was in 1994, right around my father was my age at the time, I bought him 2 Connecticut cigars for his birthday. And, he was a pack or 2 Marlboro Red cigarette smoker at the time. And so for health reasons, he had to quit smoking cigarettes. So naturally, you go to cigars after you quit smoking cigarettes. And so I got him those two cigars, and he fell in love with those cigars. And he asked me, he said, "Hey, where'd you get this from? I'd like to buy a box. Go buy me a box." And when I told him the price of the box of cigars, he went absolutely nuts. He said, "How much for 25 cigars?" And so you could immediately see a kind of light bulb going up on top of his head. He calls his brother, who was running the factory in the Dominican Republic at the time, and he says, "Hey, I'm sending you some cigars. Go find somebody who makes something similar to this." And that was in 1994. We ship him some cigars. We find a factory. My dad orders 10,000 cigars for about $1 a piece at the time. And the rest is history. I mean, Española was born. That was our first blend was the Connecticut Española, which was in 1995. We received the samples, and then by 1996, we had boxes, we had bands, and we had our first shipment of cigars in ready to go.
So how long did it take you to totally transition, getting out of the jewelry business to becoming a full tobacco company?
Oh, my father's still in the jewelry business.
Okay.
We're still doing jewelry business, but manufacturing here in Los Angeles. The factory in Dominican is no longer. My dad's been doing jewelry since late 70s, early 70s, I would even say. So a very long time. My dad is a manufacturer at heart. He is a guy who looks at something and says, "I can do that, I can make that." And so, yeah, he's still in the business. They still do jewelry, but not at the scale as we were doing in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so early on, with JM Tobacco and the cigar blends, you talked about finding a factory, to make the blends and things like that. And we're talking, 30 years now,
Yes.
near, 30 years basically.
Uh-huh.
So over the years, when it comes to, factory partnerships and things like that, because we've talked about this with a lot of people that whether you're talking Dominican Republic or Nicaragua, there's a lot of cigar factories that can make products for you. Have you stuck with the same factory partners over the years, or have you changed things up? And if so, why did you make changes like that?
Absolutely, yeah.
The farm,
or did you buy the factory?
Great questions. Yeah, great questions. So yeah, when we started with the factory in 1995, it's Baitoa Tobacco at Tabacalera Baitoa, and we found that it was very difficult to get decent shipments in, and the quality and the consistency of the product started to fail, especially mid to late 90s, when everybody started getting into the market, people approaching Tabacalera Baitoa, and them producing cigars for others. So that's when we started looking into how we can get into the business as far as the factory end. And that's when we started our first factory, Tabacalera Mahroukian. That was our first factory in Dominican Republic, primarily making our Española cigars. So for us, maintaining quality, maintaining consistency was very key. It still is key up to this day. So we did that. We ended up using the blender from Tabacalera Baitoa. We hired him, and we hired him to run the factory for us. So the transition was difficult, but at the same time relatively easy.
Yeah.
So who's your master blender? You said his name earlier.
Papo.
Why is it every master blender has a really cool nickname?
I know. I love that. I love it.
And Papo still is our master blender 30 years later, and he's the one who blended the Year of the Dragon. Papo right now is also the master blender for Blackbird Cigar Company, and that's where these cigars were made. This is the first time that any of our cigars are made outside of our factory.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so over the years, especially, because you talked about, the cigar boom in the 90s obviously was massive. And then the cigar boom, there was a COVID cigar boom.
There was.
And, things have definitely leveled out. But I know we've talked to so many different people about, tobaccos that they rely on for their blends to keep them consistent are, becoming everybody wants all the factories want the best quality tobacco they can get their hands on if they're not like fully vertically integrated and they don't grow their own tobacco. So, how do you guys stay on top of things as far as getting the tobacco that you need?
Yeah, so we've been working with the same tobacco producer for a very, very long time. And with consistency, there comes so many things. You have, of course, the blend consistency, but then the tobacco fermentation plays a big role in the type of tobacco you receive to maintain that consistency. We have our tobacco manager at the factory who goes and makes leaf selection, and we trust him. And then also with construction of the cigar and the rolling of the cigar, that also plays a role in maintaining consistency. And then, of course, the quality control. You can definitely make cigars, but then if you're not able to kind of smoke them, or they have, dead spots and stuff like that, we don't use that, obviously. So quality control plays a big role. And then keeping the product at a consistent level as far as environmentally, same humidity, and the aging process of the cigar as well. So they're aged minimum of 90 days up to 9 months for our premium product. So a lot of factors play into maintaining consistency for our cigars.
So you guys are not some new company. You guys have been around for almost 30 years.
Yes, sir.
You pretty much grew up in the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So what can you give some of the newer, smaller companies that are growing up, that are starting up, advice? We always ask, who you got advice from? What can you tell a company that's just starting out?
Yeah. So, it's not going to be pretty all the time. You're definitely going to have your ups and downs. And, we just talked about consistency, but just maintaining the vision of the company, I think is easier said than done, but to keep doing that year after year, and you take the hits as they come, but then knowing that there's a brighter future ahead, makes it. Of course, there's cash flow involved. There's money situations and things like that happen. But the longer you're in the game, the longer you're gonna have success, just because you have more name recognition, and a lot of this is, as you guys know, is a relationship business. So going out, seeing customers, maintaining a relationship with the people who are selling your products is the key here.
Yeah.
So tell us about your lines, and most of them are pretty darn affordable for the average blue collar worker that's working his ass off to just feed his family. So tell us about your lines and your price, your prices.
For sure. Yeah. So I'm going to start with the boom in the 90s, because that's how I think that one of the key points that I mentioned as far as advice to others is that, sometimes your down years will bring ideas that you never even thought of. And that I'm relating to our JMs Dominicans. So in the mid 90s, of course, there's a big 90s boom. There's a cultural shift in cigars. There's a big media influence. The 90s were a great decade for economic growth. So you saw a lot of superstars smoking cigars. It wasn't your grandfather's cigar anymore. This was something that, adults in their 20s, even women, were starting to pick up the habit of smoking cigars. And so the cigar culture just became huge. And with that, you had a number of players entering the game. And, early 90s, I think Dominican had probably one of the fewest growing seasons of all time. I think in 92, they grew the least amount of tobacco. They did not anticipate the growth that was coming ahead in the mid 90s, 94, 95. And so I say that because when the people started getting into the tobacco industry in 96, 97, 98, you were using inferior tobacco. You were using tobacco that was not ready to be put into cigars.
Because demand was so high, right?
The demand was so high. You had, this pressure with the manufacturers to put out product, which, like I said, the tobacco was just not ready for that. And so they were doing that. And then also, of course, manufacturers got so busy, they needed to hire new rollers. And these rollers were not educated enough. They were not experienced enough to be able to roll the premium cigars that are, the standards that we've come to learn. And so what happens is that then you have people who can't sell their inventory of 100,000 sticks. So if they cost them $3, now they're trying to get, 50 cents from their dollar and selling them for $1.50, even $1, and dumping product. And so here we are trying to sell $3, $4 wholesale cigars, but our retailers saying, hey, I can get cigars for $1, and nobody's really buying much. They're going for the bundled cigar or the cheaper stuff. And so we had to kind of shift in the late 90s and come up with a brand or come up with a product that was, not as expensive as our premium Española line. So in early 1996, we hit our first trade show was the RTDA show. We came up with the Española Connecticut and the Española Maduro lines. That's why they're called Española 1996. That's the first year of the production, and also it was the first year of our trade show at Cincinnati, Ohio, at the RTDA, which is now called PCA. And we had the likes of Rocky Patel. First time at the trade show, we had Drew Estate also, who started off that year. So it was a lot of big guys starting off. So we did well for a couple of years, and then we saw a decrease of about 50% in our sales. And we have a bunch of tobacco sitting at the factory at this time, and we really don't know what to do with it. And so we call the manager, we talk to Papa the blender, and they say, hey, what can we do? Can we come up with something cheaper? And at the time we had never heard of a Cuban sandwich cigar, and that's a mixed filler with long and short fillers. We had a bunch of tobacco from the cutting of the ends of the premium stuff, and also kind of shorter leaves that we couldn't use as wrapper, so we used them as filler. Some uglier wrappers we used for binder and this and that. So he said, hey, we're going to go ahead and make a Cuban sandwich cigar and send you some samples. And then that was and then for a cheaper wrapper was a Sumatra wrapper at the time. And so and then JM's Dominican was born. I think that they sent us over a bunch of cigars. They smoked like a premium cigar. We said, hey, this is great. We'll go ahead and put 50 in a box instead of 20, 25, just to kind of cut cost. So we were able to offer those at about $1, $1.25 a stick at the wholesale level, and just it took off. We couldn't keep that in stock, and we're continuing to have success with our JM's Dominican line up till today.
Nice.
Tell us about another line when it came about, your infused or flavored cigars. Mm-hmm. I think those do pretty good for you, right?
They do, yeah. Those are our so originally we started with the Island Delights. We had an Island Delights line that did really well for us, but we kind of brought it into the JM's Dominican family. So now we have our JM's Dominican Honeys, as we call them. They're a sweet tip cigar, and they're available in 4 flavors: a honey natural, honey rum, honey berry, and a honey vanilla. And those come in a Corona size with a Sumatra wrapper in 24 in a box. So that's for, we always wanted to have product that we can offer to the retailer who was looking for something else. They say, hey, we're in a college town, or we got a bunch of ladies who love smoking cigars. Do you have anything for them? And, we say, yeah, sure. early on, we learned a lot from our retailers. We learned a lot from our sales reps who were on the field, kind of going into the stores, and we really listened to the consumer and our customers of what exactly they wanted, and that's what we produced.
Yeah, the demand for infused, flavored, sweet tip cigars it's still massive. They're all around the world. There's still a lot of people who they want the tobacco that goes into a premium cigar, but they want a little something extra to it. And I'm not a regular flavored or infused cigar smoker, but it's probably about once a month or around there that I'll have a cigar like that. And I say people who enjoy premium cigars, we always say smoke what you like and like what you smoke, and whatever that if that cigar happens to be. It kind of gets under my skin when I see people like bashing, other cigar smokers who are enjoying a flavored or infused or a sweet tip cigar. It's like just leave them alone. Just let them enjoy what they're going to enjoy.
I can't. That's half the fun.
You are a Yankee fan. You are a Yankee fan.
Yeah, and our infused cigars kind of smoke like premium cigars, and it's more of an aroma that comes off of the cigar rather than the taste that you get in your mouth. Yes, they are sweet tip, but also they're still complex cigars with full flavor. But naturally the smell that comes out, especially our vanilla, you get people going like, what is that? What are you smoking? So it attracts people, and it is also one of those entry-level cigars. People who are like, tobacco flavors are going to be a little too much for me. So, kids, I say kids, first-time smokers or women really start off with those flavored cigars.
That is true. There's so many people that that's their first few. Maybe it's their first cigar. Maybe it's their first 10 cigars, and it does help to sort of what's the word? Acclimate your palate. Like if you've never had premium tobacco before, just that natural premium tobacco. I can imagine for somebody, I'm trying to, how old was I? It was 96 that I had my first cigar. So
at least
25. I was 25 years old, and I was, but I was a cigarette smoker too at the time. And then I had a Davidoff, and I was like, oh, this is better. this is way better. So,
that was what I bought my dad, 2 Davidoff cigars.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I suppose, I was like, one cigar is $10. I said to the guy, he's like, and I was like, what? That Davidoff. I mean, it just looked nice. I didn't know anything about the cigars, and I went in his cigar shop, and I see the Davidoffs there, and I just thought, man, that it just looks classy. And he said, yeah, those are classy. He said those are some of the better cigars in the shop. And I said, how much? He's $10 for the box. No, for one cigar. And I said, oh, what the hell, why not? Because at the time, I was like, why not? And just, kind of fell in love with it. And there's so many people that I know that still, maybe they started with, a coffee flavored cigar or, some kind of botanical or infused or something like that back in the day. And I still have friends that enjoy those cigars every single day. And it's one of the biggest parts of the market is infused cigars. And, for you guys, when you look at, especially in the States, fortunately, the cigar industry has been pretty well, covered when it comes to legal stuff with the FDA and stuff like that. In order to also have other market shares, to work with. Are you all guys also working in places like Europe and Asia and things like that?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we ship to Germany, Switzerland. Italy is going to be set up soon. We missed the Inner Tobacco Show this year, but we'll be there next year to pick up a few other accounts. We're also in Canada.
And what kind of shifts, if any? I mean, I know there have been a lot of pricing changes, especially, over the years. Not pricing. I'm sorry, taxation changes from one country to the next over the last few years.
Yeah.
And from a market perspective, are you seeing any major changes, especially in like Germany, as far as customers who used to be 100% dedicated Habanos smokers?
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like people are leaning more towards what they call, New World cigars, Dominican cigars, Nicaraguan cigars, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that just the fact that, Cuban cigars have been so limited lately has really helped us in the last couple of years. People, first of all, can't really afford those cigars. The prices have gone up like crazy. The Cuban cigars I'm talking about. So which kind of forced their hand to try something else. And as soon as they try a Nicaraguan or a Dominican cigar, they're like, hey, this is good, maybe as good, if not better,
Yeah.
So that really has helped us a lot. So we are seeing a shift in Europe, accepting more Dominican and Nicaraguan cigars, or like you said, the New World cigars.
Yeah.
Well, I
just say it.
I am not a fan of Cubans. If I want to if I buy a box, I don't want to wait 6 months to a year to smoke it, first of all. And if I buy that box for outrageous price, I want to be able to smoke all the cigars in there, not half of them.
Not half of them.
So I think there's so many things that are
quality control problems.
Yes.
They really do. And if you're spending that much money and you're disappointed with that cigar, it really speaks like it really hurts.
Yeah.
And you're really turned off at that point. So
and half the tobacco they're getting now is from DR or Nicaragua anyway. They won't say it, but
they won't say it.
They
but
can't.
It's probably
they can't
true.
sustain that kind of.
No.
Yeah.
And I think China has a big hand in that. I think they're producing a lot for China.
Well,
oh yeah.
Well,
China.
they own. I mean, China owns so much now. It's hard to. It's hard to get away from the grip that China has on a lot of different industries. The cigar industry is no different. There's a lot of that going on. Plus, they're importing so many cigars into China now. I mean, from all over the world.
They're shifting from cigarettes to cigars in China?
Oh, there's still a lot of cigarette smokers.
A lot of cigarettes.
They sell. I mean, tobacco in general. They sell. I mean, the numbers are outrageous for how much tobacco in general is sold in that country every month. Probably equals what the rest of the world does in a year, most likely, in as far as like total tonnage of product.
They do a lot.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So earlier I asked you the question, what advice you would give to a new company coming up?
Yeah.
Tell us some of your mentors and who helped you guys out when you started back in 95.
Yeah. So when we started, we didn't know much. We didn't know anything. I was 17, 18. I've been learning for the past 30 years, continuing to learn. For me, for my father, I would say was our tobacco manager at the factory and our master blender, Papo. I mean, he really held our hand and led the way. Without him, without them, without the growers, without the producers of tobacco, without our rollers, we wouldn't be here today. And, I come from a marketing background. I stopped going to school in 96, 97 to work full time for the cigar business. And then when the boom was over and, I was stuck saying like, my dad is young, maybe I should go back to school and get a degree in marketing. So I applied to USC. I got my marketing degree at USC, and so for me, it was marketing. It was a product that I was able to market versus any knowledge of tobaccos, blends. I left that to the master blenders, the people in Dominican Republic. But of course, for the 30 years being in the business, you tend to pick up a thing or two along the way. And so, you talked about how we can keep product consistent, and even how we can keep, with tobacco consistent. And in early 2010s, about right around 2012, 2013, my father, he went to Mexico and started growing tobacco in Mexico. So we're actually growing our own tobacco in San Andres. The wrapper and the binder for most of our cigars is a San Andres. We use some of our fillers as well, a San Andres filler. So that also helps keep our tobacco supply consistent as far as having production, and for the blends as well.
Yeah. So kind of a two-part question. The first part of it is, how many in the States, for example, how many shops are you guys in?
Oh, I mean, it's really hard to tell. We have over 800 accounts right now.
Wow.
But also, people distribute for us. We've got Cigars International, who distributes, Famous, who distributes to smoke shops. We have New Global, who's bestcigars.com. We also have JR Cigars. So we have a lot of people, especially in California, cash and carry businesses that they drive products into. And our products can go into like liquor stores. Here in California, you can sell tobacco in liquor stores. Go in a liquor store, if they have like a cabinet humidor, I'll always go in and check, and you'll see the bright yellow boxes in there. So, that number is high, especially for our JMs Dominicans, the value price cigars. With Españolas, I would say it's probably closer to like under 200 accounts that carry Española. But as far as the JMs Dominican goes, I would say probably over 1,000 accounts without us, including our distributors as well. 300-400 of them can be here in California. We got so many. So many shops here.
To balance that is, and I've always there aren't a lot of companies that also sell direct. Like, you go to JM Tobacco website, you can make a purchase. And some companies do that, some companies don't. What made you guys decide to, in addition to going through retail partners, also sell direct? And how do you figure a balance? Because everybody's kind of got their own. There are so many factors that dictate, why and when and how and all that. So we're curious from you guys, what made you decide to do that, and how do you balance that with the retail partners that you also service?
Yeah. So, that decision was not taken lightly. That decision was kind of made to promote Española more than anything else. And that was 3-4 years ago. We did not sell on our website before that. And if we do sell a product on our website, it's more expensive than anything you can find online or at a traditional tobacconist. We do that intentionally. We don't want to take business away from our customers, that's for sure. It's just that if you aren't able to get to a smoke shop or they don't carry Española, number one, we'd like for you to go ask your retailer for the cigar and have them bring it in so you can purchase it from them. But if they're reluctant to do so, you can always purchase it from our website as well.
Yeah.
You were talking about your JM Dominican.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your JM Nicaraguan, and where are you getting that tobacco? Do you have a brother tobacco or sister tobacco farm that you use down there?
Yeah, so no, we don't grow our own Nicaraguan tobacco. We buy tobacco in Dominican Republic, tobacco from Esteli, and we use that sparingly in our filler. It's a mixed Dominican and Nicaraguan filler, handmade in Dominican Republic. So it's a JM's Nicaraguan blended cigar, and we use a the same wrapper, a Maduro wrapper from San Andreas, and the binder is a Connecticut broadleaf, and with mixed fillers of Nicaraguan and Dominican, which our Jams Dominican line is just a straight Dominican filler with the same two wrappers and binders.
How's that doing for you?
It's good. Since we started with our Jams Dominican line, obviously that does really well for us. But with the popularity of Nicaraguan cigars in the last 10 to 15 years, I would say early 2010 up to 2013, Nicaraguan tobaccos, Nicaraguan cigars, they were just amazing. The San Latano from AJ Fernandez kind of put the Nicaraguan cigar, I think, on the map, it's had success ever since. It doesn't move as well as our JM's Dominican line, just because we've had our JM's Dominican line since 1999.
We're gonna get another question, Matt?
I'm just enjoying my cigar right now. No, I was also curious about, because being in business for a long time, like you guys have been, I mean, things happen along the way, and everybody, regardless of what business they're in, whether it's cigars or jewelry, whiskeys, cars, whatever it may be, everybody learns lessons along the way. And sometimes the lessons are really positive, and sometimes the lessons sting a little bit, and we've all been through it. So how have you guys handled that over the years? Because every business, it's like, oh, let's try this new product, and it just doesn't work. I mean, it happens 1,000 times a day, and some companies bounce back from it. Obviously you wouldn't be in business as long as you have if you just kind of let some adversity kind of crush you. You guys have bounced back from it. So how have you learned to bounce back from, whether it's a product that didn't work or an account that didn't work or any of that? What keeps you guys in that positive mindset to just move forward?
All those failures you talk about, Matt, is a learning lesson for us. There's a reason why it didn't work. And so we take that and apply it to the next thing. It's almost like you got to take the emotion out of the game and be able to pivot in any direction at any time. Once you take that emotion out and you take it for what it is, and you really learn about what worked, what didn't work, you take those aspects and you apply it to the next thing. You kind of have to have like a short-term memory, and be able to brush it off and keep the enthusiasm going and keep the positive mindset, and know that there's a season next season, or in the fall or in the summer, where that there's a trade show coming up, and that you're just going to bounce back, and you just keep that positive mindset going, because we do have downtimes. I mean, we're going into it now. It's getting cold around the country. If factories start closing down mid-December, you really need to have inventory going forward. And now with the trade shows kind of pushed earlier, you really can't rely on that summer and fall sales anymore. You really got to be able to produce and supply early on, especially the winter and then the spring season. Yeah.
No, that's a good mindset. I like that. It's just, and like I said, it's a testament to you and your dad that, 30 years is nothing to sneeze at. And it's a testament that you do keep that positivity, and you keep moving forward and learn from the bad and embrace the good. So I definitely can appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe that, exactly 30 years ago, almost to the day, well, November 22nd was my father's birthday, is when I went out and bought those cigars and gave it to him. I mean, it's crazy to think that I was a 17-year-old kid who had no idea what his future was about, was going to be about. I mean, I really haven't done anything else in my life besides cigars and tobacco. So I owe all the credit to the people in the Dominican Republic. I owe all the credit to my father, who kind of raised me right. I mean, he's a first generation immigrant that came to this country from Lebanon. We're Armenian by heritage. And so I think that mentality of always working hard and creating a family first mentality really has helped us and has kind of kept the business and the family close together.
Nice.
So I seen that you were drinking some brown stuff in your cup.
I am.
So what do you like pairing your cigar with most?
Normally I'm a tequila guy. Normally I drink tequila. I like this newest brand that I've been just fascinated with. It's called Fortaleza, and Fortaleza is just a beautifully distilled tequila that I enjoy neat with Blanco. But today I'm drinking Don Papa. Don Papa is a 10-year small batch rum. It's got great molasses, vanilla tasting notes, and it's actually pairing really well with the cigar.
Oh, I love it. You had me at distilled spirits.
Yeah.
I mean, I was.
I keep telling in the Midwest, they love their bourbons with their cigars, but I keep telling them, you got to go with the rums.
Oh, rum.
Got to go with the rums.
Rum is one of my favorites.
Vanilla, molasses,
yeah,
creaminess it has. It really pairs well with a cigar. I mean, it was a match made in heaven.
What grows together goes together.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it. So Raul, do you think
it's time?
You think it's time?
I think it's time.
All right, guys. It is now time for this week's Número de los Muertos. And as always, Número de los Muertos is brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn.
I'm Steve here with the GOAT to tell you about Smoke Inn's Cigar of the Month Club. Every month, I personally handpick 5 premium cigars. Another great feature is our Double Down Club. With a simple check mark, you can get double this great selections every month and save $10. Every month, there's a special discount code where if you like any of the selections, you can get them at a special discounted rate for our Cigar of the Month Club members. We've made it super simple. All you gotta do is log into your account. There's a little green button there. If it's green, you're active. You want to take a break, going out of town, simply hit the button and you'll deactivate your membership. We get the stuff out on the 28th of every month. Our membership bills on the 28th, and we get every member's package out on the 28th if it's a shipping day. All delivered to your door for $34.95. 5 great reasons on what makes Smoke Inn Cigar of the Month Club the best club out there. Check it out. Peace.
All right. Número de los Muertos, episode 267. Not gonna lie, guys, this is another weird one. Well, they're all weird. What am I talking about? The Número de los Muertos is always weird. The whole segment's weird, but what are you gonna do? We love it. Our viewers love it. Everybody loves it. So the number this week is 32.
In how many years? Last week? 10 years?
In approximately the last 25 years.
So 1.2.
32 people have died
something like that
from this. So
now we try to figure out if it's land, sea, workplace, car, vehicle, weapon, to suicide, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So just throwing questions at them.
So 10 years, 32 people have died from this.
No, this is almost 25 years.
Only 32 people have died from this.
Yeah, 32
years.
Confirmed. Yeah, in this particular, and they're not all the same cause, but it's all the same type of
death
thing. It's all the same. I'm going to give it away if I say I won't give it away, but I'll give away a big clue. It's a particular type of work.
Well, I know it ain't firefighting because we lost a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's not firefighters.
So I can ask questions. Is this how it goes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rapid fire.
Oh.
Rapid fire. We got on that later.
Are they animal related deaths?
I think some are, but not the majority.
North America.
North America. This is worldwide.
Oh, jeez.
And David wants to know land, sea,
land, sea, or air, all of the above.
Oofda.
Farm, no.
Animals and air are related?
Yeah, it could be any of the, yeah.
32.
Kicked in the head by a mule. That, David, that is very specific. That's not the answer, but it's very specific. And I applaud your specificity. But no, that's not it.
Jesus, you might want to hashtag dragon, by the way. Just like
I think he did already.
Jesus didn't.
No?
No.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Hey, we'll tell everybody again.
Yeah. For everybody that doesn't know, hashtag dragon, and you have an opportunity to win a box of dragons. You're the dragons who what? And why am I brain farting here? I'm still not recovered from the Yankees' loss. I'm still not. Just shook.
Well,
I envision the game 7 for sure.
I was hoping for
A sweep, I know. Hater.
No, I wasn't hoping for a sweep. All right, let's get back to numero diez.
Yeah. Let's see here. And it's a certain profession. Is that what we're saying? Is it work related?
It's work related. It is a particular line of work. It's a very specialized kind of
pilot
job. Not pilots, although pilots may be involved in this, but it's not specifically pilots. Birds, I don't know if birds are involved, Jesus. I'm not sure about that. Brains pecked out by an eagle. Again, David, very specific, very disturbing. But no, that's not what we're looking for.
I think the animals threw people off.
It's a particular industry.
In the air besides pilots. What's in the air besides pilots and stewardess?
Air, land, and sea.
Airline what? A zookeeper?
Not zookeeper.
In transporting the animals, they got killed. Did it?
No, not zookeeper.
Snakes on. You forgot a word on that.
Not airlines.
Snakes on a moon from planes.
Oh, snakes on it. You could. This is how about that cigar, bro?
Yeah, I know. I've dropped the F-bomb a couple times.
Oh, okay. What are you limiting yourself to? Only many F-bombs.
Only 5 F-bombs in the show. Hey, don't be looking it up neither.
No. This is relighting a cigar. Yeah, it's a particular type of industry.
Are they instant deaths?
Doesn't say.
Pick a time of military?
Not military.
Because we lost a lot more than 25 in the last 25 years.
So.
35 in the last 25 years. It's what else is in the air? I'm getting thrown off. It's just planes, trains, and automobiles, huh?
But don't focus on the type of like transportation or the type of focus on different focus on different types of work around the world.
Strippers. They gotta pay for their college.
No, it's not that. It's not it's not related to venom or poison. No, I mean, okay. Again, it could be, but it's not. I should clarify. I guess it's not. This isn't a cause of death. Like all these causes of death could be different.
It's just a profession.
But it's a particular profession.
Are they animal trainers?
No.
Oh, is it what do you call it? The cops in the skies.
Air Marshals?
Air Marshals.
No, not Air Marshals. It's not pilots.
It's not stewardess. It's not a waitress in the sky.
This is a tough one. I really kind of stumped everybody this time. This one's
circus performers.
No. But
Come on, Kosu.
One of the words in your guess.
Performers?
Keep going down that road.
Topless performers?
No. What's on your mind tonight? Honestly. Don't get any closer to me.
What's up, Mr. King? How you doing tonight? Actors? No, it's been more. Just regular actors?
Keep going with that, though. What industry do actors work in?
Movie stars?
The actors work in?
What industry do actors work in?
Movie. Interesting. Oh, 25 movie deaths?
Well, it's not just
or
movies.
Stunts?
It's
died during filming.
Yeah, movies, television, and theater. So that's the answer. Is since 2002, there are 32 confirmed deaths between 2002 and 2024 on film sets, TV sets, and theater sets. The vast majority are laborers on the sets, like people who just carry heavy stuff from one place to another.
Only 35 in the last 25 years? That seems low.
And
didn't Alec Baldwin kill like 6 people?
That was one person. Actors and directors are the next highest group. After that, artists, performers, or other related workers. So if they're like, they could be extras, they could be people who paint sets, that kind of thing.
Wow.
Then you got carpenters, and then you've got production helpers.
Wow.
That's a lot of people for only 35 and 25 years.
Yeah. Didn't Bruce Lee's son die?
Yes.
He did,
Brandon
yeah.
Lee,
Filming The Crow.
The Crow.
Back in, that was about 30.
Maybe that was before.
30 foot. Was that late 80s or early 90s?
Early 90s.
90s for sure, not 80s.
Yeah. Shot in the face by a Baldwin. Well, unfortunately, that was one of them.
And wasn't there an actor and a director that got their head cut off filming like Apocalypse Now? I guess that was way long.
I don't know. I do know that this one was kind of famous back in the day. It was in the 80s. They were making a full movie version of The Twilight Zone. And there was a helicopter crash or something because they were trying to film some scene in the rain. And they didn't do enough testing beforehand, and they didn't have all the right safety precautions in place, and helicopter crashed and killed everybody in the helicopter along with like another 3 people on the ground or something like that. It was really bad. I know. And then, the Brandon Lee thing when he was making The Crow, it was a prop gun that they weren't live rounds, but they were blanks, but still blanks, if they're strong enough, still have a percussive, blast to them. And I think that it was against his temple. And even though it wasn't a live round, it's still the shock and percussion of it was enough to give him enough brain damage. I think that's what it was. I could be, again, this was so long ago.
94. David, our fact checker said it was 94.
The Crow, 94. There you go. So that was this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right, we got to do the reveal the spirit of mystery.
We do, but I want to ask him one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
So you talked about how the Year of the Dragon's going to be your new core line.
Yes.
What else do you have coming down the pipe in the next year or two, or by PCA?
Oh yeah, so great question. So by PCA is when we're actually releasing our Española Corojo line. That'll be your first chance to order those at the PCA show in New Orleans. but we've already started working on our Anniversario, Española Anniversario, our 30-year cigar. We're messing around with a few blends now. We are working on adding a new size to our Española, a double Toro, a 6x60. That's been popular the past couple of years. And a newest thing we're working on is a Lancero. Lanceros have been really popular nowadays. And, it takes a skilled roller to roll a Lancero. And we are going to be releasing one very soon.
Yeah, that's one of our favorite.
Did you see Raul's face light up when you said Lancero? It was like the whole room got brighter. That was awesome.
I've been smoking a few of the samples that they've been sending me, and it smokes so great. It I don't know. It's something about those Lanceros, 7x44, I think it is, and it's just working really, really well. Or is it 36? Might even be a 36. I'm mixing it up with a Lonsdale, but they just something about it is very intriguing. It's smoking really, really nice. So I'm excited to release that.
I'm happy to hear that.
Nice.
I'm happy I answered that question.
Yeah.
So let's reveal the spirit of mystery brought to us by Postani.
Let's do it. This is a nice pour.
Of course.
It does seem a little familiar, but so my brain goes to this place where you get those kind of cinnamon notes, but it's not like full on like that Amburana cask finish, that Amburana wood cask finish. It's, at least I don't think it is. It's got some of those same, though, like baking spice kind of notes, like cinnamon, and there's a lot of nice sweetness in this bourbon. It doesn't taste super hot. It doesn't taste like it's really high proof. It's got a lot of sweetness. There's a little bit of a funk to it, but in a good way, kind of like, like some tobaccos, you get a little bit of a funkiness, but it almost works with the rest of the flavor notes.
Well, it's 118 proof.
All right, then it's smooth as hell, because this does not drink like 118 proof. It's really smooth for 118.
So are you ready for the unveiling of this week's spirit of mystery?
Yeah, I honestly couldn't even venture a guess, but I can't wait to find out what it is. Oh, hello. Booker's Little Book. Very nice. Yeah, this is small batch. This is that a store pick? Maybe that might be a store pick. I can't quite read that. There's that side label. I can't quite read that, but that's there we go.
You're a technician.
Okay, yeah. Wow, 118. Honestly, super smooth for 118. Super smooth for 118. That's a really nice pour. So, Michael, thank you for donating this week's beverage on Spirit of Mystery. That's a nice one, and definitely one that I would add to my my collection. So,
yeah,
definitely
Michael,
worth.
good luck finding it.
Yeah. He does have a nice grouping of bottles, but yeah, that's a nice pour. So thank you for that. All right, let's jump into this week's lightning round, and the lightning round brought to us by our friends at J.C. Newman Cigar Company, America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and The American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 113-year-old El Reloj cigar factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com. All right. So Anto, we got the lightning round is fun, quick, non-cigar related questions.
Okay.
One is cigar, sort of cigar related. All right. Question number one.
Yep.
If you were about to get into a fight, what would your soundtrack music be?
Rocky. It's got to be Rocky,
Yeah.
right?
Classic. Definitely number one answer. It's a classic, and it just works.
Yeah.
It just works.
So, what is the most underrated and overrated fast food franchise out there?
Underrated and overrated
Fast food
franchise. Oh man,
Yeah, but you work out, so you don't eat a lot of fast food, do you?
You know, having young kids.
Oh yeah, you have kids, so yeah.
So I would say, you know, in our family, probably Del Taco versus a Taco Bell is underrated, and it hits the spot every now and then. So I'd say Del Taco.
So that's overrated or underrated. What's overrated?
Oh, there's two answers to this.
Yeah.
Two.
Oh, overrated.
Go ahead.
I guess you know, overrated would be just McDonald's in general. Like, I can't stand it.
Yeah. We get that a lot.
That's a common answer for overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very common.
And Del Taco, I agree with you about that. I haven't. Last time I had Del Taco was honestly, it was the last time I was in California, which was, oh God, that was a long time ago. 2007 was the last time I was in California, and that's the last time I had Del Taco. And it's not even the same ballpark as Taco Bell. I mean, Taco Bell is like food you found in a dumpster compared to Del Taco.
Yeah. And oddly enough, their burger, their double Del, you know, just hits sometimes.
I don't know if they had the burger on the menu back in 07. Maybe they did, but I just got some of the what was it? So I was there quite a few times between in like the Irvine area back in a bunch of times between like 04 and 07 and for work. And they had these like spicy pollo roll-ups or tacos, or I don't know what it was, but I was surprised. I was like, I know this is a chain, but you know, 9 times out of 10 somebody says, oh, it's spicy. You're like, yeah, right. Yeah, no, it's not actually. And then you eat it and you're like, oh shit, they actually know how to season their food. And I was surprised by how good it was.
Yeah, chicken soft tacos with the secret sauce.
Yeah, it was legit.
Nice.
It was legit. And I put the extra hot, you know,
of course,
got to zhuzh it up a little bit.
Of course.
All right. So the zombies are coming. You get to choose 3 people from the cigar industry to be on your zombie apocalypse survival team. Who do you choose and why?
Oh, man. Zombie apocalypse team from that's a tough question. I mean, maybe Rocky Patel, just because of his name. Maybe they get scared of him. I don't know.
Yeah. Plus, I think he's got his own plane. So
okay, that helps.
Fly to an island that doesn't have zombies on it.
Yes.
Problem solved.
Shoot. Who we got here? You know, I don't know. Pete Johnson, I think, from Tatuaje. Just because he's intimidating with his tattoos.
There you go. There you go.
And then who else would I pick?
You need somebody that's kind of heavy set that you can
outrun.
I was thinking, too.
Sacrificial lamb.
So I don't know why the Gurkha guy. His name is
Juan Lopez.
Not Juan, but the big guy.
Oh, the big guy.
Constantine. I forget his name.
What is his name?
I don't know. I ain't even
It's
act like I do. I don't know his name.
It's like Constantine or not even Constantine. It's something like that.
It's on. What is that guy's name?
I don't know.
I am
I'm not even
blanking.
gonna act like I know. I remember. I think about it. No? I would have said Steve Saka.
He's mean.
Yeah, throw him, but and he's a little heavier too, so they'll
Okay.
kill a lot of them before they take him.
Well, Steve, and it's always good to pick people that have guns. People that have big collections of guns.
You guys can't even have guns in California, can you?
You can.
I mean, splat.
I've got a couple.
Yeah, so, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't. Whoever's watching, I don't.
Whoever's watching.
He was kidding. They were paintball guns.
They're just rubber band guns. All right, let's get into this week's notable smokables brought to us by Don Doroteo Cigars. Don Doroteo is a brand with both purpose and passion, dedicated to creating change from within. By developing their own land, they are able to own the entire process throughout the life cycle of the plant. They methodically carry out each step, ensuring that the final product is of the finest quality. The new Salt of the Earth lines, Piedra Viva and Piedra Angular, are available now at Don Doroteo retail partners. Visit dondoroteo.com to learn more. All right. So, Anto, notable smokables is each week we all name a cigar that we smoked recently that was notable to us. Now, this could be a cigar that's been on the market for decades that we smoked for the first time in a very long time, or it could be a cigar that's brand new to the market that we smoked for the first time ever. Obviously, you're smoking mostly JM Tobacco cigars, but if you get a chance to jump outside of your own portfolio from time to time, is there something you smoked recently that stood out to you?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Oliva. Oliva, they put out some wonderful cigars.
Yeah.
So if I was to name one, I would be the Oliva V series.
Oh, I love the Oliva V.
Yeah.
To this day, and Oliva G Robusto is still like a cigar that I just buy boxes of constantly. It's like that old school Cameroon Oliva G. Yeah, I agree with you. Oliva makes
great cigars.
Yeah. What's your notable this week?
I don't know the name, but I sent you a picture on your phone.
You sent me, I don't know the name. I love that. All right, let's pull this up here.
It's a Viaje, and it's one of the new ones that came out.
Oh,
and,
see, okay.
And I can give or take with the Viaje because the hit or miss.
So I'm going to put this up on.
And I think it's called the the Halloween Crow. If anybody knows what that is.
Yeah. If anybody, it's like half of a
pumpkin head with a bunch of crows on it.
Yeah, half of a jack-o'-lantern with a bunch of crows. I'm not familiar with that particular Viaje.
And so we got a local shop that has them. So I'll go in and grab one or two of their new cigars, smoke it, and then pretty much be done with them. But I smoked that one. I'm like, I need more of these. Then I had to call James. James, you have any left? And
wow.
It's really good. It's really good.
I got to try it.
Yep.
My notable was kind of one I've enjoyed for a long time, but haven't had in a little while, is the Black Label Trading Company Porcelain.
That's good. That's a good Connecticut.
Their Connecticut shade cigar. Nice cigar. The Crow, David Floyd says. So that cigar is called the Crow.
Thanks, David.
Was that you get that from Omar's shop?
They're gone. Don't even think about it.
Thanks.
They're gone. Go on.
Hey, I tried this cigar. I really liked it a lot, and I got it from Omar's shop. Oh, but they're gone. Don't. It's like thanks for.
And James is all gone. There's nowhere else to be found.
Oh, I love it. The Googles. David is good with helping us out with answers during the show. Thanks, appreciate that, brother. All right, let's jump into coming attractions. These are some great things coming up on the next few weeks. for How About That Cigar Live, and those are brought to us by Hoagland Insurance. And at Hoagland Insurance, they are excited to serve and educate any new customers and give existing customers a refresher. Whether it's a business policy, auto insurance, home policy, or life insurance, if you are currently insured or just looking for a quote, Tony Hoagland and his team would love to create a personal price plan just for you. Mention How About That Cigar when you make your first appointment, and Tony will have a free cigar for you. For more information, please call 763-421-4900 or visit champlaininsurance.com. All right, so we're working out the details of scheduling, but we know that we know for a fact that we have Nick Melillo from Foundation Cigars coming on, and hoping for Jack and Hector from Espinosa Cigars. We're trying to work out maybe some
flip-flopping of days and
calendar foo and get everything worked out. The end of the month, this will be it. We have Will Cooper from Cigar Coop coming on the show. We have Fred Rui, and we have Bear Duplessis. And this is going to be what I am calling the Great LaFleur debate. And long story short, Will Cooper is convinced that Matt LaFleur, the current head coach of the Green Bay Packers, is a horrible football coach. And Fred and Bear and myself disagree. So we're gonna debate it out. That's pretty much it's childish and stupid, but we're gonna talk about it on the show. Damn it!
I'm kind of with Coop. I'm kind of with Coop. He's not a really good coach.
That's an interesting Coop impression.
I know, that's the way I hear his voice in my head all the time.
I love Coop.
We absolutely
him.
love to death.
He's like a big brother.
One of the best human beings on the planet.
But next week, I will be at La Zona Palooza, and I will be sending some video to him to put up on there. So
yeah,
look forward to that too.
And speaking of Coop, I will actually be on Coop's show a few nights from now. On Thursday night, I'll be on Coop's show with a few other folks talking about some industry stuff, some PCA stuff, the news that they put out recently about some of the consumer sided things they're going to add on to PCA and stuff like that, and some other industry topics we're going to be talking about on Thursday night. Nice. So that's some cool stuff we have coming up. Anto, first of all, brother, thank you so much for being on the show. We had a blast talking to you.
Had a great time. Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Absolutely. If you would please give our viewers and listeners an idea, where is the best place for them to keep up with everything going on with JM Tobacco?
Yeah, so our Instagram is, I guess, where we put out a lot of our information. It's at JM Tobacco. You could find out what we're doing, smoke shops that we have events at, and any new releases or just highlighting some of our core lines. And of course, www.jmtobacco.com is our website. You could check out what we got to offer. It's a full range of all our products.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, again, brother,
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Raul. Thank you, man. Matt, thank you for having me. I really, really appreciate you guys. You guys put on a great show, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you. And viewers, remember, thanks for putting #Dragon in the comments here. You got a few more minutes to put #Dragon in there to get 5 extra entries. I will be posting it on the website tomorrow, and give people who weren't able to watch live tonight a chance to also win. But yeah, best chance to win, definitely. If you haven't put #Dragon in the comments yet, you still have a couple more minutes to do it before the live broadcast ends. So Anto, yeah, hang out in the green room. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
All right, viewers and listeners, we are so grateful for you guys being with us here again on episode 267 of How About That Cigar Live. If you guys have questions for us, you can email us on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. Be sure, of course, all of the buttons. I mean, we
smash them.
We just love buttons. We love buttons here at How About That Cigar. So click on the like button, the subscribe button, the follow button, and all that great stuff. Don't forget, of course, to follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. You will find us on all those at HBT Cigar. And of course, until we see you guys next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Any comments, opinions, viewpoints, or statements presented or uttered by guests on the HBTC podcast, HBTC live video streams, and all other media from HBT Media LLC are solely those of the individual and do not necessarily represent the opinions or viewpoints of How About That Cigar or its parent company, HBT Media LLC, any of our advertising partners, or the premium cigar industry. The primary purpose of How About That Cigar is to entertain and to encourage activity and growth within the community of people who enjoy or want to learn about the enjoyment of premium cigars.